streamed, and I am none of the above. Okay, check these updates. It's gonna come back and ask me some more questions. I'm like, okay, when did this podcast start? So now I need to know when this podcast was published. So for that information, I can go over to, so let me update what I'm seeing. So I'm looking at this software. This is the the podcast app. I'll click on see all the podcast episodes, and this was the first episode. Right, if I click on here, February 16, 2022 was when the first episode was submitted. So let's go ahead and add this information. So I'm going to move this to the side. The year is 2022. And it's an ongoing podcast. Check these for updates. All right. So it's saying this title has a warning. You must acknowledge that it's not any of these things that are already in the system. And it is not, because again, these are all things that have the word the podcast nation podcast series, right? So it has all of these things. So it's like, okay, are you sure that this is a brand new series? I'm like, I am sure. So we go ahead and click on it is not an existing title. Recheck. It's going to come back. Additional information is required. Don't have all information? Click here. Right, so let's go ahead and click here. Provide explanation. Let's choose over here, USA. Missing link. Yes, we do need a URL for this podcast. So let's go find the link for this podcast. And usually on here, here's the show website. So we'll go ahead and grab this link. Come back to here. Official podcast site. Country of origin, United States. Language is spoken, English. It's in color. What's the genre? This is a TV show, a talk show. Okay. Budget. We don't have to put any of this information. Official sites again. We'll pop this one in here. And we'll add a cast. Recheck. These are the mandatory information. You need to have the year when it started. So this was, I believe, February 1st or 2nd. Gonna have to go back to that first episode when it was released. So I'm gonna go to this app, February 16th. So let's go to here, choose 16th in 2022. All right, that's good. That's good. And we're gonna take out the director, take out this information, and official site. We don't want this. Name. Chris Williams. Self. And then we'll go ahead and check again. Again, there's a lot of checking. It does the checking and make sure that you're not putting false information. So you want to make sure that you have a good set of information and you're making sure that everything is there. Problem explanation. Major credits. 3 items are needed. All right, here we go. So which Chris Williams? What is it? Right, we want to make sure we choose the right one. And I want to choose the same one that I have on my site. Right, so let's go to, I like this feature down here where it says recently viewed. You've seen these things recently. And here's Chris Williams. And it's CCV1. So on this page, nope, this page, I'm going to choose CCV1. I'm just closing out some tabs to get the right one. So CCV1 didn't show up over here. Maybe if I type it in here. And then recheck it. Here we go, self and hawks and hobbies. So now we can select that correct one. Okay, so it also wants these information: production company and distributions. So for distributors, we can say Buzz Sprout. Right, so they are in USA. And company could be Group Coach Nation. Again, this is the first time that you have to add this information, and then all other updates are pretty straightforward. Mandatory information. For movies to an empty field, nationwide theatrical release is submitted. Okay. Release dates, mandatory information. Release dates, miscellaneous links. Third-party news, online TV schedule. They also need a budget, US dollars. The company information is wrong. And they're allowed to know who's the production company. What's Group Coach Nation? They're not listed here. And you can technically say add a new company, and they would add a new company. Again, there's a lot of information out here, and you can literally click on this information to tell you new podcast being added. Let's see if this helps us get through here. This credit has been rejected. You need to correct the credit before it is accepted. Type and year is missing. Type. It's all media. Here is 2022. And we said we're going to add a new person company here. And yes, understood. We check these updates. Okay, we have green, red. We need to put amount. So let's put 150. Add this company. Rejected. You need to correct this credit. The company name is missing the country code. Okay, what is the country code? Again, they have a ton of information, and we can say USA. Order is credit order. We check this information. Got green, red. Add contact information. All right, we're gonna say no change. And recheck these updates. Or so something is missing. I gotta figure out how to add this as a new company because they're not currently in the database. And they're also rejecting it because this indicates by indicating two characters of code in brackets. Oh, for example, so that's what I'm doing wrong. To have a square bracket next to it. All right, I'm gonna check once more time. All right. Add this new company and add contact information. Oh my God, look at this. They accepted all of those things for this new title. We made it through. Check it out. So make sure you put the square brackets and read the information that they're telling you here because otherwise it's not going to work. And voila, we're going to now go ahead and submit these changes to the system. Whew, that was a long one. And that kind of, I was like, why am I going this tunnel? But we know what it takes to create a new series. Now, this is our contribution made on 3rd of December. Here's the code number. We've added 12 new items, and these are all the items that we've added. And since I was logged in, it's my contribution, and I can go back to the contribution history, and it'll show me all the different contributions that I've done over the years. Wow, that was a jam-packed edition. We got 2 things done, added a new episode to Hacks and Hobbies, updated name for one of the episodes on the episode, and added a brand new podcast on IMDb as well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the